Hello, RCJ to Daniel here. Welcome to my channel. I wanted to show you also a video of my brushless Mario Kart and how I did the upgrades on it and all the materials I had to cut away on the plastics to make it works and fit. It's a little more to do in this Mario Kart actually compared to the Donkey Kong you saw in the previous video. For some reason you have to cut away more material in the Mario Kart, in the Mario Kart 8 series than the Mario Kart 7 series, but let's begin. So this is how the Mario Kart looks like from inside, and I'm gonna try to explain to you what I have done and as best I can. The reason why I have taken this kart apart from the beginning is because I'm waiting for another motor to arrive, and the motor that was in this kart I have put in the Donkey Kong instead. So that's why I thought about doing these two videos to show you how it looks like inside because I've already taken it apart anyway. And it was a guy a while ago, or maybe a year ago, something, who asked if I could do this kind of video to show how the Mario Kart looks inside, and then I said no, but so I have to apologize for that. But I didn't know if I could do a video, and when I rather say no and then promise something I can't keep. So, but here we go. What I have done, if you compare, it's the same ESC I use. I use the same ESC for all my karts, both Mario Kart, Donkey and Bowser. The difference is with this is I have turned it around instead, and this is the first kart I actually did an upgrade on. The Donkey Kong and Bowser I bought later. But for this, I thought it was easier to have the ESC turned to this side instead, to have the motor cables directly on this side and pointed down here. And here I have cut away materials if I remember correctly, but I'm not sure. But I think this, the blue here I have not done anything with, but just this hole here, so to make room for the DIN contact, so you can just take it out or put in wherever you want if you want to take away the ESC. And the ESC itself sits with not double-sided tape, but I have done the same on both Donkey and Bowser also. I don't remember exactly what this material thing called, but this is for an example. This you can see in here. The ESC is mounted with this thing, so you can just take it off whatever you want. How you want to mount your ESC, it's up to you, of course. But just remember to make a good room for everything. I recommend that you. I can show you from the side here. When you do the soldering and point the cable downwards, so you make sure that you have good room for the lid afterwards. That's what I did anyway. So just a tip. And also. You have to take away also a lot of materials in the gray plastic before, as you see here, what I've done, covered up the ugly parts. But you have to take away some gray material, and that is the poles again. Like I think it's the same as in the Donkey and Bowser. It's the plastic poles that holds the original ESC and receiver in place. So you have to take away that all of it so you can make room for the ESC. And as I said in previous video, you don't need bigger than this type of ESC, and this is a 60 amp the same one as Donkey Kong and Bowser, and that's more than power than it's more power than enough. It's enough power, I mean, to make good power for the motor. Either if you use a 2435 as I do, this is the motor I used in the Donkey Kong. It's the same size on any motor. It's just the KV that's different. And this is what I've done to I've just knocked down the original pinion and glue it with epoxy glue for metal. So I've done that on every one of the motors. So, but then you can see the cables here just go under each other here. So it is very narrow, and the lid is even more fun to do, if I say so. That's more materials you have to cut away there. And also compared to the Donkey Kong and Bowser, here there is some differences when it comes how this is built up and everything. And here is this is the solution I came up with to have the on-off switch button cable mounted. Compared to the Donkey Kong and Bowser, it's much more room here, and also here for the cable, but not on the Mario Kart 8 series. So this is what I've done. I put the cable just between here, and here is I have not done anything there, but let's see if I can. I'm pretty sure that I had maybe it wasn't necessary. Yeah, I think maybe I have just cut away. I'm not sure right now, but maybe if I cut away some plastic here to make room when I put this lid above this, but I'm not. I think maybe I've cut away something there, but I'm not sure. This depend also where you want to have your EC on-off switch. Maybe if you want this side or this. No, this is actually. This is the room I use actually. So I have not cut away anything here. So all right, now I am. So you have already a hole here, so that you can use for the cable. So I didn't want to mislead you, but it was a while ago. I have this lid off. So, but when here you can see anyway what I did there, and I also have the cable from the ESC to the receiver just go right above here, and that is also because compared to the Donkey Kong, I think it was too much little room to have this cable go around under here and back here, like a Donkey Kong and Bowser Kart. So that's why I took this above here instead, and it is no worry if when you have the seat above here, anything, this cable is not going to get damaged because of this. So the only thing you also have to do is just cut away some material in this lid plastic here, and I don't want there is nothing to show you under here. It's exactly like the Donkey Kong. You don't have to do anything, just mount the receiver here if you want to use this side. I think that was you don't so it's easy to use that, or if you want to use the ESC on this side instead of the receiver, so maybe you don't have to do so much. But I wanted the ESC on this side and the receiver here, so I also just drilled a little hole to take the antenna tube for mounting here. So that's the thing you have to do. Cut away a little groove here, and when it comes to this, the lid for the ESC, then here you can see what I did again when I showed you a little fast on the last video of the donkey. this is what I did to make the ESC's fan sit here. That's the only way you can have a fan above. Otherwise, you cannot fit it. If you have the ESC directly mounted, the ESC fan, I mean, directly mounted over here, you cannot get the lid on. It's not gonna fit. But this is a way to use a fan for a little extra cooling and still make it work. So I did a carbon fiber frame, a carbon fiber frame. It's just a little bigger outside than the fan edge around. So it sits directly on the lid around here. And the hole for the fan is exactly the size of the fan. So this frame is the only one that on the outside edge here that's hold it in place. And when the screws goes directly through the frame there and the original holes in the fan with just a little nut. Is M3. And here you can see also if you want to use this like grid or what it's called, this aluminum for the cooling to get some air through, like on the Donkey. The only difference, this lid is have a different form, as you can see, but otherwise this is like it. I think it is like original. What you have to do is you have to cut away in the blue plastic here. You have to cut away the material down here, so you can use instead this aluminum grid or what it's called to make the air go through. Same on this side. Here we also have blue plastic right above on my fat fingers. It's in the way. Here, all the way here up to this edge is just blue plastic, and I think it goes all the way to here somewhere. So if you want to make room so you can use the lid and have the aluminum grid, you have to cut away this material. You don't have to cut all the way. I wanted to have this wide. So how wide you want, it's up to you. But I think it looks pretty neat. But this is how I did it. And inside here you have some things you have to cut away. Original and this lid. In the middle you have I think it's that little red lamp that indicates that it's on when you have the original ESC on. But you have to cut away that, take away that from inside. You don't have, of course, have to use a fan. Here, I just wanted to mount it because I think it looks cool and some extra cooling, but not necessary. You don't have to do this. But if you have the brushless ESC on instead of the original, you have to take away from inside. Take away that gray little thing, original there, and also to make better room. When you have the cable, when you have the cables here, to make sure it doesn't get too narrow with the plastic pole. This, as you can see, this original pole, I have not done anything to it. Not this either, I think. No, it's original length. But on this side, this here is the motor cable going. So cut away almost entire pole here. Just you can save just this little bit. You don't have to worry because the seat is gonna get above from this side. Hope you can follow what I try to explain here. If you manage that this sits here, so you don't have to have that pole under here anyway, because the seat pole, as you can see, I also cut away that a little bit, but you don't have to use all of it. This side cut away just because to make room for the motor cables, and the screw, it's going right through everything here, and it's gonna get thread inside on that shorter pole. So you don't need so much plastic there anyway to make it work and seat properly. So that what I recommend you to do. And this cable size is I think it's the same as the other. It's a 14 gauge for what it's I think it's called that. So use 12 or 14. No more thicker than that, because then you're gonna have some problems. I even can recommend more like a 12 gauge size, because if you want, but this is 14 if I remember correctly. I think it's 14, same size as the other one on the Donkey Kong and Bowser. But if you use that, it's gonna work. And let's continue forward here. This is one of the also biggest differences between the Bowser and Donkey Kart series, include the Mario Kart series when it comes to the 7 series, the older one. Because in that series you didn't have a ordinary like a real servo. You just have a big, more plastic gearbox for a motor for steering instead. But in this newer version, they have done it more simpler with a servo. And the original servo is a 5 cable servo, so you can't use that for this real brushless system. You have to buy a real RC servo. And this is exactly the same as I use in the Donkey Kong. It's a Savux medium-sized. That fits perfectly here. So if you want to use that is kind of servo, you have to use a medium-sized servo. This is a 5 kilograms. Just put it in there. And to make the steering work, also a little bit different with this when it in compared to the Donkey Kong. In this case, I have used, maybe I can lift it up a little bit, but this is what I've done. I used just a original those four-sided servo horns, and I cut away 2 of them, so you can see that V-shaped instead. And that V-shaped is the one who's gonna help that make the steering work. So when I steer, so it's pushing this little plastic edge there, pushing it left, right. So it was a pretty easy solution to do. It is, like I said, it's a little different. And a thing also you can do if you want under here, hard to work with one hand, but we can do this then. Those fingers again. Of course it struggles just because there. I did the same on the Donkey and Bowser also, actually. I forgot to mention that. But if I put this aside, it's not necessary to do, but I did it. Here originally there is there's a plastic part that sticks out and down here. I cut away that just because to get a little bit more steering. This is original, like a steering stop. Original, but I cut that away. You don't need to have that on there. And the steering itself, when it comes to how much left and right, you just adjust it on your EPA on your radio to make the most steering you want to have without, in my case, without that the front tire is gonna touch and scrape the on-off button. So, but I have just enough EPA for the steering without touching it, and that's more than enough steering overall anyway. So I don't need any more than that. Let's see if I can put this in place again. It's we are almost done, I think, with this like tutorial video. I don't think it was so much else. One more. I can show you some more things actually. That just more like a fun thing I did, but not necessary. But like in the seat, I painted black, and you can see those grids. This also just to try to get some cooling air inside for the motor. Not necessary to do, but this is one idea to get some cooling air. What I did. And another thing, otherwise, if I show you the gearbox. Here we have, this plate is like a cooling thing for the motor, because if the motor that form of heat the motor is gonna get, it's gonna go up, and this is gonna take care of it. But the motor is not getting hot or anything anyway. It's very easy for the motor to turn this gearbox. But if you may want to have like a more type of cooling, you can take some more metal material and glue it here, or make it fit here, and so you can translate more heat if you want to. But it is not necessary. And like I have done on my Bowser and Donkey, you have the same, the throttle and brake done exactly the same way. Just measured where the tube, the brass tube is gonna be, and did this with 3mm thick aluminum thread, and used brass again, and covered it all with just a black shrink tube. This is what it looks like under. I used warm melt glue, or a glue gun, maybe it's the right word for it, to glue this in place, and have to cut away and make it so take some little room as possible to. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to fit the lid afterwards. But I think that is everything that was important to show. So as I said, you don't need to cut away, or when it comes to you like these things. I just did it because I think it looks cool, but you get some cool air anyway, and the grid is gonna get air through, but you as with the Donkey, you're not gonna get small rocks or things like that inside, but you can have the cover like exactly like it is also, and just cut away the things you have to, the things that is away here, and like the pole here for the cables and things. You have to look, you're gonna understand better if you try yourself and take the Mario Kart apart. You can this is just an idea, like what I looked at what I have to do to make it work with my equipment here. If you have to, you're gonna see for yourself what it looks like and what you have to do to make it work. It's not so difficult as it maybe sound like. So I think that's it actually. I don't think it was no more to show. So it was a long video again, but I hope you find this video interesting for you. If you wanted to see what I did and how I did it, and if you want to maybe try it for yourself, if you have a Mario Kart or a Donkey Kart, then you have some ideas what you can do to make it work, and wish you luck with that. And thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up if you like it. If you have any questions or things like that, put a comment down below, and I'm going to try to answer and help you as best I can. But thank you once again for watching, and goodbye. Take care, and we see you in the next video.